These guys are a classic Shark Tank story. Excellent in executional skills in marketing and logistics, which you need for this sector. But you're right, it's the largest exit ever. They can't tell you what it was, but I'm an investor, and I will. $300 million. This is huge, and it just gives you an idea of how the American dream can play out on Shark Tank. I love these guys.
Nick and Josh, you're living out that American dream. It's great. Congratulations.
This is the American dream. This is the American dream.
What happens
really
next with Plated?
Oh, this is truly the American dream. My dad's an immigrant from Turkey, and my mom's family still run a farm in South Dakota. And you know, it's been a hell of a ride the last 5 years, and we wouldn't be here without supporters like Kevin and our early investors. And you know, to all the haters out there, like, we did it.
I had this dream of going to the North Pole when I was 19, sophomore in college. I wanted to be the world's youngest person to ski to the North Pole. And I Googled, you know, polar explorers, and I found this guy in northern Canada, and he basically let me come and apprentice with him for a couple weeks in the middle of the winter in Arctic Canada. At the end of that, I realized, like, it's a pretty terrible idea. The idea was interesting, but the reality of trying to ski to the North Pole is pretty terrible. So I backed away from that one and on to the next. So it was a lot of coming up with ideas, getting out in the real world and testing them as quickly as possible, and more often than not failing, but learning a lot from those failures about what I didn't want to be, so I could go and figure out what I did want to be. Coming out of the Marine Corps, I was working on Wall Street, and I was just miserable. I was working a sales job there, and there was no mission. I wasn't challenged day to day, and I also saw my superiors, the partners, and I wasn't inspired by who they were or how they led their lives. A part of my job was to go out and meet up-and-coming entrepreneurs and convince them to give some chunk of that money to the bank. So I got to meet all the up-and-coming entrepreneurs in New York, right? You read about entrepreneurship, but seeing it and meeting entrepreneurs, people who are really doing it, was a totally different, more visceral thing. That's when I started thinking, okay, this is what I want to do. I don't want to be doing sales on Wall Street. I want to be starting my own business. Partnering up with a buddy from business school, a guy named Josh Hix. Initially approached him and said, hey, like, I want to start something. I don't even know where to begin. Would you just, I'll buy you a cup of coffee. We just talk about it? A cup of coffee turned into a few cups of coffee and eventually lunches, and then starting to bounce ideas off of each other on a daily basis. And those ideas quickly turned into, all right, like, this one seems really interesting. Seems like there's a big market opportunity. Can we build something? Josh was pounding out code while I went down to the local grocery store, was buying basil and salmon and hand delivering it to early customers, and hit 300 conversations that led to 300 no's. There are literally an infinite number of ways to say no. You're not the right guys, I don't like the idea, I don't like the numbers, I don't like the brand, yada yada. We had this great idea, and we were going to change the world, and it just fell flat. No one was willing to back us. We just kept at it for months, through the rejection, through people crapping all over our, really us, right? Because when it's that early, there's no business. It's just you guys and your idea. A friend reached out to me and said, I'm going to be in New York. You want to get coffee? I said, sure, why not? I almost canceled the meeting because I was busy with, trying to raise money. Ended up telling him what I was working on, and he said, oh, you should talk to my boss. He had the same idea. Ding, light bulb goes off. An hour later, I have a phone call with him. 24 hours after that, he's flying us out to California to meet with him and this group of former Israeli army buddies that he invests with. They ultimately put the first $400,000 or so into the business. And they said they did it because of the military connection. So another big takeaway for me was take every conversation, right? You have no idea in those early days where the conversations are going to go. And it might seem like a dead end, it might seem like a waste of time, but that one conversation could be the inflection point that changes the course of your business or your own personal life.
Nick and Josh, a little fun. You are the American dream, okay? I don't know how much you're going to get paid each. I'm sure it's a lot of money. Congrats. Quickly, each of you, what is the first thing this is what we all dream about. What is the first thing you're going to do with your money?
Oh, I don't think either of us are doing anything other than donating to charity and really just getting back to work on the business.
Not buying
we are
a
very
house,
excited.
Maybe.
Funding your retirement?
We
paying down
actually
student debt?
Oh, that's boring.
We actually
No.
met.
Solid
we
gold
met-
helicopter?
We met in Haiti doing volunteer work after the earthquake there in 2010. We're giving money to support the relief efforts in Texas and in Florida and probably Puerto Rico now. And we're both pretty humble, frugal guys. We don't need a lot. We just want to go out and win and deliver huge results for our shareholders.
Good for you guys.